Hello, everybody, and Merry Christmas Eve. Sorry, but happy December 22nd is almost Christmas, or happy holidays, or whatever you celebrate out there. Hopefully, you're with your family and you're safe and you're healthy and you're having a good time because a lot of us won't be. In fact, that's because the House and Congress and all those folks have finally voted on the second stimulus check or the second stimulus package, and they have finally passed it, I believe. And now it's moved on to the White House and for President Trump to go sign it. And quite frankly, yes, it's better than nothing. But after 9 months of them bickering like children, that gives children a bad name. In fact, most children are very, very mature and actually very, very nice to one another. Sure, there can be some bad ones, but most are actually very nice. If you ever watch Master Chef Junior, those kids are like amazingly cool people. Anyways, after 9 months of crap from our government, now we're getting $600, or those who qualify get $600 in stimulus checks, up to $600, and unemployment will get a $300 a week bump, I believe. And it's interesting because it's a slap in the face. It's kicking us in the nuts. It's hitting us when we're down. Like, Nancy Pelosi, who is I feel like one of the people that's most out of touch. She shouldn't even call herself a Democrat. Said that this check is significant to the American people. Significant how? Significantly low? Yeah, because that's what it is. At $600, you realize that in the last couple of months, you're not even giving, that's a couple bucks a day, not even. You realize that? Like do you not understand what people live on? $600 doesn't even, do you think we live in like the 1920s or something where rent was like $80? What the crap, dude? Like, utilities by itself for most families is $600. They're not even gonna be able to pay for rent with $600. In fact, I was on Reddit the other day, just looking at a thread of people talking about this, and basically, like 99%, if not 100% of the comments were like, "Screw Congress, screw these politicians. They have no idea what it's like for a normal American to live because $600 is crap." Yes, again, it's better than nothing, and like we should be grateful in some shape or form. But it's like the stupidity of this is like, these people, you realize all these, like the House of Congress, like all these people make over $100,000 a year. So they're gonna go home thinking like, oh, we did something good for the American people. They're gonna pat themselves on the back and be like, we finally did it. We achieved something, and we should be commended. And it's like, after 9 months of crapping on each other and like doing all this, like arguing, that you think you deserve a pat on the back? Like, it's like are you kidding me? Like, you deserve praise or something? This reminds me of a thing like where, I don't know if you guys ever read the second book in the Crazy Rich Asian. I think it's Crazy Rich Girlfriend or something like that. But anyways, there's a character in there. This is like a daughter of a billionaire, and so one of her addictions or whatever is like traveling all over the world and like going to these 5-star spas, right? And she loves going there, but she hates the traveling. And in her mind, she's like, well, I'm spending so much money and so much gas on traveling to these places. Instead, I'm just going to have my dad build me my own spa at my mansion. That way, I stop polluting the earth. And in her mind, she thinks that, well, I'm doing the earth a favor by building my own spa so that I don't have to keep traveling around the world and using my private jet. So therefore, I'm saving the environment. And she like genuinely believes that. Granted, it's a fictional character, but it illustrates just how like our government just thinks about us. It's like, they genuinely think that they're helping us right now. And sure, for some people, it will help. It'll help like most. I mean, it'll help in some shape or form, but it's kind of like, you're literally putting a band-aid on a bullet wound for everybody. And but they believe they're actually giving us like emergency care. They believe like as if they're saving our lives. Like, if we're drowning in the ocean, they believe that they've jumped in themselves and rescued us up from the depths of the sea. That's what they think. In reality, all they're really doing is like yelling from the boat and be like, "Hey, swim, buddy, swim." Like that's what they're actually doing, like, and it's so sad. That's what's happening now. When other countries have like done more, like I said this in my last video, but like, Canadians are getting about up to $1,800 a month for stimulus for those who qualify. Denmark gets up to 3,000 euros a month for those who have lost a job. So while we give at most $450 per person. I get it, like, they're smaller countries, but we're supposed to have the biggest GDP in the world by a long shot. Like, have you ever seen like other people's GDPs compared to Americans? It's shockingly huge. So we should technically have more money, but we don't, we do. We just don't put it in the right places. We don't put it in the right places, like education, infrastructure, the people, But where we do put it is to make sure that to put it in the politicians' pockets, right? Because at the end of the day, that's where it's going. Because remember, this bill also guarantees that in 2021, all the politicians get 100% of their salary, and people like Nancy Pelosi also get. She makes over $200,000 a year, and her net worth is over $100 million. So, yeah, it's shocking. And if anyways, like I don't know what's gonna happen in 2021. I'm knocking on wood. Like, hopefully Georgia or whoever, or like the Georgia runoffs, like switch to blue, and we can get better stimulus going, because like it's laughable how we're basically like a lot of countries, actually a lot of foreign countries have put up memes saying like America is like the third world country with the Gucci bag. And I'm not trying to dig on, America. I'm born and raised here. I love this country. I love being here, but it's really sad, like a sad state to see it kind of crumble, in front of you. It's kind of like being a part of like a sinking ship out of a company, which I've been a part of. And just because you love a country doesn't mean that you can't, you can't criticize it. It's the point of loving it that you want to criticize it, so that you want to make it better. Yes, Eggman rocks cultures. That hopefully Biden. Yeah, hey man, do a 22. Yeah, $2,000 a month. You damn right. Like, we need that kind of money, because our friggin' quality of life and in terms of like standard of living needs that kind of cash. And of course, like someone like Mitch McConnell is going to totally, crap that on people and be saying like, "Oh, that's way too much money." And it's like, and it really goes back to the argument of where he says like that $600 of unemployment per week was too much because people made too much money and they weren't going to go back to work because they're going to live off it. And two things about that. First off, so what? Even if that was true to the majority of first off, that's false compared to the majority of the people receiving unemployment. All right, I received it for a little bit, and in total I would get $4,000 a month. My old job paid that's less than half of what I got paid at my old job. All right, before I got COVIDed, and and believe me, like there's a lot more people that make a lot more than that. Sure, there are some people that make less, but like even if that were true, okay, to like these small amount of people, like why does it matter so much? Like think about it. Like if these people were laid off from an industry that that's no longer hiring, yeah, they're gonna have to live on that money for a while because they're not gonna get hired anywhere else, in their industry, and in that kind of time and moment, like as a provider, like even if they were a single person, they're probably stressing out about like, well, how am I going to be able to pay for my mortgage or my rent, or how am I going to pay for my car leases and whatever, like how am I going to pay for the bills, how am I going to pay for my food? It's like, well, here comes the government, be like, hey, we know you're in a hard time right now, here's a little bit extra for you so that you don't have to worry, and until like you get back on your feet, here's a little bit more so that you don't have to worry. Why is that such like a bad thing? I don't understand. Like, why is that like considered like a scary bad notion to help the people? Like, you sick McConnell mother effer. Like why do you think like helping your people and giving these people a little bit more to stand upon is such like a nightmare? Is it going to take away from you in some shape or form? I doubt it. Like, are you not going to have caviar tonight because friggin' these people get a little bit more on top? And honestly, like $600 is, even then, it's nothing. Like, what they should have done if they really wanted to like make it even is to, one, go by income, or go by like cost of living on the like metropolitan area. Because honestly, $600 in like Montana a week, like, yeah, that's gonna go far. Or maybe in Arizona, but in California, in the Silicon Valley where I live, yeah, that doesn't go very far. Okay, $600 a week. Are you kidding me? That $4,000 a month is like equivalent to not like, it's not that much. At the end of the day, if anything, Californians should have been getting at least $1,000 a week for that. All right, like that's how they should have done it, because like some places should have been getting 300, and then other places should have been 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and up until like the thousand. That's what they should have done. But Congress, they're probably too damn lazy to even look at that research, and they're just like, what, screw it, let's just give everyone 6 and whatever. Again, I'm not ungrateful for the money, but the government is supposed to serve the people. It's supposed to help them. But so far, the government, all they've done is help themselves. And the thing is, like, we don't even know when the light of the tunnel of this end of this whole COVID thing is. For the government, like, and the funny thing, and the thing is, like, if the government had given the people more money in the first place, we could have seen the COVID like cure, like at least like subside a lot more. Why? Because if you have given money to the people who have lost their jobs, that couldn't provide for the families, and now they could thanks to the government. And even if it was taxable money, it doesn't even matter. Let's say you give those people money, now they wouldn't be on the streets freaking out about whether they're going to be able to feed their families or not. They're not going to be out there picketing about haircuts or whatever. They're not going to give a crap about haircuts as long as their needs are being met. As long as like, we are able to put food on the table, we're able to pay for our bills, our kids have clothes, our kids are, they're fine, or we still have a house over our heads, and we can still watch, Disney Live or whatever. Like, that's what's important to them, not a haircut at the end of the day. Yeah, there will still be those like assholes who like, like, oh, I'm anti-mask and whatever, this is fake. But those are like really small group. A lot of these people were just looking for money, like they're like, my business is falling apart. Holy crap. Like, if you have helped those other people, like and not the big corporations, like the amount of infections, the amount of deaths, and where we are as a country right now as a whole in terms of this COVID pandemic would be completely black and white different. I guarantee it. But politicians, they don't give a crap about us at the end of the day. And most of them will never see any of these videos that are made by me and other YouTubers and that are criticizing them, because at the end of the day, they don't give a crap. They just don't give a crap. They're making their beds, which is full of money, and they're lying in it. And then whatever they do to this country, they don't give a crap, because they're gonna off themselves eventually, naturally, obviously. And then they're just gonna let the next generation take care of it. But anyways, that's the update, or that's like kind of my 2 cents on the whole second stimulus check. I hope everyone out there, again, is staying safe, is staying healthy. Please take care of one another. In these kind of darker times in the holidays, tell each other you love them. Have a good meal, sit around a good fire, and just tell good stories. Some of my favorite memories of me and my family are just sitting around and just chatting with one another and just talking. And I loved it. It wasn't us like doing something fancy or anything, but it was just us spending time with each other. So I hope you guys get to spend time with family, even if it's over Zoom. It's still nice to see faces. So hopefully you guys have a good one. Please subscribe, please like my video, and do all that jazz, because it really helps me out at the end of the day. And that's all we can do, is help each other out. So anyways, have a good one, folks.